Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another VIROO webinar series. I hope you all have a great vacation. Now we're back to work and back with this series that is intended to let you know what VIROO is, what VIROO Studio for Unity can provide to your organization, and how you can create amazing multi-user XR applications really easily. As I pointed in the chat, feel free to ask during the webinar if you want. You can ask whatever questions you may want. If I can answer them live, but if not, I will send it to my technical team in order to give you a better answer. So the important thing today is we are going to focus the webinar on two important things. One is the Unity Asset Manager, which is going to provide your organization to be able to share different 3D models across all your team using the web, and you can import them easily into Unity. And then I'm going to show you one of the things that I'm most excited about in the recent years, which is our improved assembly sequence template. We've made some changes to the template that we showed like 2 or 3 webinars ago, and now it's easier than ever to create those kind of extra apps that are focused on training assembly sequence procedures. So just in case that is the first time that you are here watching these webinars, remember that this is going to be published later on YouTube, probably tomorrow or across the week. But if you didn't manage to make it here, you can always find the offline video on YouTube. And I'm going to make like a quick recap of what VIROO can provide your organization, and then I'm going to dive right into the things that I want to show you. So first, remember that VIROO is an XR platform that is going to allow your organization to create multi-user XR apps that are multi-device and that can even be deployed easily in different locations. So as you can see, you can use whatever headset you may want. You have multi-user by default. You can do remote collaboration, and all the content that you are seeing right here in the videos have been created using VIROO Studio, which is a no-code, low-code environment inside Unity, a project that we provide. But if you are an advanced developer and you know how to program, you can always, of course, use visual scripting or even create your own C# scripts, okay? So basically, a reminder, you have applications that are already developed by yourself, by Virtualware or even third-party companies that work seamlessly in the platform, and you can just purchase a license if you want to just start using the platform right away. All the core provides that infrastructure, which is secure, reliable, easily scalable inside your company, and it's going to make everything just works, okay? You don't have to worry about the networking, the multi-user, the compatibility with the different hardware. VIROO solves that everything for you. And of course, the players, which is the main things where you are going to the programs where you are going to launch the content, okay? If you have a headset, you can always connect using the headset. If not, you can just use your keyboard and mouse and launch the desktop app, which I have right here. Okay, this is like a desktop application that is going to allow you to create new sessions or join already existing sessions. If you have a headset, you can just connect it to the application and it's going to be displayed in the headset. If not, you can just move around, as I'm going to show you later inside Unity. And you can, it's not just for contemplating the content, you can be active and you can interact the same way as the VR users are doing. Of course, you don't have the benefits from VR. You're not going to see everything in scale. You are not going to have that freedom if you're in your arms and your hands, but you are going to be able to join the sessions and be as active as any other user. We also have Room Player, which is meant for the large-scale immersive rooms that we install, and this is the best way to experience VIROO because you can move around naturally. You can have like a 100 square meter space where you can see the engine or the cat that you are watching in real scale, move around and not depending on the joystick. And we are even compatible with other technologies such as the cave systems, these projection systems that doesn't force you to wear like a bulky headset, and you can still see things from the real world. And basically that's it. Again, different VIROO apps. All these apps that are in the catalog has been created by the modeling team inside Virtualware, so you don't need how to code, and they are multi-user and multi-device by default, okay? You can join a session sharing the same virtual display no matter where you are in the world. You can be in different countries, different locations, using different headsets or different computers. One can be using a VIROO room, the large-scale immersive room, and the other can be using a headset or just the laptop with the keyboard and mouse, but they will share the same session. And you can, of course, have like multiple sessions at the same time. If all the people inside your organization doesn't want to be in the same virtual environment, you can create different sessions, like different meetings, and you can just watch the content by that. And remember, one of the important things is that everything that I'm going to show you today, you can try it for free. If you go to our VIROO website, which is virtualwareco.com/VIROO, you can go here to this button, create for VIROO. You will have here all the benefits that we have. We are a Unity base, so we have the power that Unity provides, and we are going to talk about that today. But you have like a much simpler way in order to create the content thanks to VIROO Studio. So if Unity includes any kind of new feature, as they made in the past, VIROO is going to benefit from it, but you are not going to be limited by any proprietary creation system. You can create whatever you want, but you can use the VIROO interaction system if you are not an advanced developer. I'm not a developer, I don't know how to code. I understand some of the code, or maybe sometimes I use ChatGPT to create my own C# scripts. You can do that if you want, but as you can see, you can use visual scripting, you can use the VIROO interaction system or the template that I'm going to show today in order to create these amazing apps. And if you want to try it out, you can do it just right here, explore free VIROO Studio templates. Now we have like one uploaded, but as soon as we can, we are going to try to upload the one that I'm going to be showing here, which is the assembly sequence template, okay? The standard one is VIROO Lab, which is the standard VIROO Studio project. You are going to download it, open it with Unity, and you are going to find a package that you can download, which is VIROO Lab, which includes all the components that we have created for you. So you can just grab elements, interact with them, create audio, rotation actions without having to code anything at all, okay? So if you want, you can just download the template. It will download a full Unity project for you. You can open it with Unity 6 and you can just try it out. And you can even test it in VR if you want inside Unity. The only limitation that you are going to have is that if you want to create a session with a single player and create a multi-user session, you need an active VIROO account. If not, you can test all the content and create it inside Unity, and you can see as a developer if it really provides that value that we think it provides. It's going to basically shorten development times, save money, save risks. When you are training in VR, you all probably know what benefits VR provides for you. So again, I'll really encourage you to download the template, test it out, and whatever doubt you may have, you can reach us and we will help you with that process. Now that we have that clear, let's go to the first thing that we are going to show you today, which is the Unity Asset Manager. The Unity Asset Manager is basically a feature included in the industry license of Unity, and is going to be included in Unity Cloud, which is going to basically give you a portal where you can coordinate with different teams across your company. Imagine that you have an engineering team that they are making like CAD models of a car that you are working in, and you want to share with the development team. Again, they don't need to be developers if you are using VIROO Studio, but maybe are the ones in charge of creating the interactive content. So the engineering team is going to create the 3D model, and it can be uploaded easily to the Unity Asset Manager. You can even optimize it to reduce the amount of polygons so it works better with Unity. And then that model can be shared easily across your organization. So if I'm a developer, as you are going to see right now, I'm going to open Unity. I can download the 3D model just from using the Unity Asset Manager, and it's going to transform it in whatever compatible model Unity needs, which basically is FBX. So it's going to transform your CAD models into FBX, so they are interactive and they are compatible with Unity, and they are going to be optimized to have a really good performance, whether you are using VR or you are using the flat screen. So this is like the simple way to show you Asset Manager. I'm going to show you how it works. And the other thing that I'm going to show you is the Unity, the VIROO Studio for Unity assembly sequence template. This is the one that we showed you in the webinar. which is basically the first version of it. And the good thing about VIROO and Unity is that they are always improving. So we are always perfecting how the platform works, how we making things easier for developers to create content, and you are going to see big improvements in this kind of versions, which is by far my favorite until now. So let's go to the Unity Asset Manager. I have also opened here my Unity project, so you are going to see everything live. And then I'm going to show you how to create an easy assembly sequence procedure. So this is cloud.unity.com inside my organization with my Virtualware account, and Sergio Barrera, which is our CTO, and he wanted to be here, but he couldn't make it. He's in a meeting right now, but he had prepared a 3D model so I can download it. He's in Bilbao. He worked in this CAD model. He uploaded then in Bilbao, and then I can access it here from the Unity Asset Manager, so I can import that into my Unity project. So the 3D model that I'm going to be working today is this one, is a car engine, a V6 engine. And as you can see, I can have like a really good understanding of what different elements the model has. If I activate this, I can see its geometry. But this is not the one that I'm going to import right now because it's already inside my project. So I'm just to test it out, to show you how easy it is, I'm going to do it with this one. Okay, in this case, I have here another 3D model that Sergio has provided with me. And since we are in the same organization, I can just tell it that I want to open with Unity, and it's going to connect with my Unity editor, and it's going to show all the 3D models that I can import here. So I can optimize it, reduce geometry to make it even work. I have all the history of the changes that has been made, of the versions of the project, of the 3D model, and I can re-import it to my project. I already imported before, so it's telling me that it's going to replace the 3D model, but it's as easy as that. As you can see, it's downloaded a 3D model from the crowd, the one that the CAD engineering team has prepared for me. I can optimize it, and I can include it in a compatible format with Unity. This is basically the asset transformer as well, because in the past this was called Pixit. Unity acquired Pixit long ago, and then they are renaming it to the asset transformer, which is combine it with the asset manager in order to allow you to access 3D models and import them and optimize them in a compatible format. So as you can see, it already is done. It only took like a minute or so. I can show it in the project in a folder called FBX, and as you can see, I can drag and drop my 3D model here, and it's already optimized and ready to work inside Unity. And since this is a VIROO Studio project that I have opened with Unity, I can start creating interactions with it, but I'm not going to do it with this model. I'm going to use, as I told you before, the V6 engine, which I have already here. And then I'm going, this is like a different version. Let me check again, because I have here like another version, I think, of the V6 engine, which has like different colors, and I really prefer that. I think it's this one. Yeah, exactly. So you can even change that. When you are importing the 3D model, you can change the materials that they have, the amount of optimization that is going to take place. But in this case, I'm going to just drag and drop my 3D model, which again has been imported using the asset manager and the asset transformer combined in order to make me, a developer, able to access this 3D model and make it interactable. And this is where things really get interesting. I'm going to put it on full screen so you can have like a better understanding of what's going on and how to start creating content. Again, if you have any doubt while you are watching the webinar, feel free to ask. I can stop at whatever time you want. If not, you can rewatch it again on YouTube and look it at your pace so you can understand everything. So if you have never worked with Unity, you have here like the hierarchy panel. So you have all the 3D models that are included in your scenery. In this case, I'm going to drag and drop my model here inside my assembly group game object. Here you have like the scene view where you can see all the environment. This is the one that we provide in the assembly sequence VIROO Studio for Unity template, and is the one that you can download probably soon, probably this week or so, and you can test it out and see how easy it is to create. And then you have the inspector, which whenever you select an object, you are going to see all the components and the parameters that this specific game object has. Okay, this is the 3D model that I have just imported. And then, since this is the assembly sequence template, I have here two panels that I have open and conveniently arranged here. You can arrange this as you want, but I think it's better to have it here. And this is the assembly parts editor and the sequence manager. This is basically what is going to allow you to create interactive assembly sequence processes that are multi-user by default and that can be used in XR with no complex at all. So basically, in order to start creating my content, first I want to be able to create a content that is going to let the user step in a certain position, is going to hear a welcome audio of the training that is going to tell him what he needs to do. And then he's going to be able to grab some parts, put it in another place, and then replace another part, and then do that assembly sequence that I'm going to create for it. And at the end, I'm going to display a video, which could be like a video of the engine working once it has been repaired. In this case, it's going to be a sample video, but you are going to see how it is used to create this kind of stuff. Audios, grabbable pieces, placeable pieces, and then completables that you can arrange the order which needs to be done. So let's go back to Unity. And in this case, in this template, we have here some prefabs included. In prefabs, completables, templates, we have like audio completion, which are going to be MP3s that you can just create by yourself. The ones that I'm going to be using right now has been created using a text-to-speech online service, which is free. So I just put the text, I obtain the audio in the language that I want, and then I generate an MP3 file that I downloaded. I put it inside Unity, and it's going to be really useful inside my project to be able to make this kind of content without depending on external tools. So in this case, we have like clickable completion items, playable director, and this is the one that I'm going to be using right now, which is player trigger completion. So in this case, I'm going to drag and drop it here. You can use whatever you want, but in order to be like organized, I'm going to maintain all the elements here, and I'm going to change its name. Since this is going to be the start of the training, I'm going to call it a start training. And then, since this is a already predefined component, it already includes all the components needed in order to be included in this sequence manager. So now, this is the trigger that is going to detect the position of the player. The player, as you can see, is going to start here. So I'm going to place it like right about here in the middle of the start position and the table that he needs to reach. And whenever the player contact or enter this trigger, is going to launch whatever step or event that I want to create. So in this case, I'm going to add it to the sequence. I'm going to go here to my completable sequence, and I'm going to delete these two missing steps, and I'm going to create a new one. I'm going to find, and right now, the only available step in my hierarchy present in the scene is this one, is the start training completable. So it's so easy to find it. I can just add it, and now I created the first step inside the Unity project. So I could test it out right now, but I'm going to add that audio completion so you can see that it's working. And I'm going to give you a welcome message. So since this is an audio completion, it contains a component which is an audio source, and it's using an MP3 file from the project. I'm going to change that, and I'm going to search for the one that I've created in advance, which is this one. Let me drink for a little bit. Sorry. And then I'm going to add that step into my sequence. Again, he's detecting that now I have an audio completable here in my hierarchy, and I can add it as step 2 of my training. So let's see if this works. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to press play. I'm going to maximize the window for you so you can have a better understanding of what's going on. And then, as you can see, right now, right from the start, without having to code, I have my trigger that is waiting for the player to enter. And if I enter...
Welcome to the engine maintenance training. Please follow the steps to complete the process.
And as you can see, it's as easy as that. So not only is it easy to do, but all the actions that I have just implemented, the trigger and the launch of the sound event, are multi-user by default. Thanks to VIROO Studio, I don't have to worry about the networking. If I'm done with my content, I can save it, I can export it to a VIROO Studio compatible format, VIROO compatible format, and then I can upload it to the cloud and it will be available to everyone and we can create a session and join. So that's the good thing about VIROO Studio, that if you are not a developer, without having to code, without having to exit Unity, and with a really simple interface, you can create this kind of interaction content that is really hard to do when you are working with multi-user XR apps and you want to deploy it in multiple different hardware. And the good thing about the sequence manager is that it's so easy to change the order. So if I just want to change the order of the steps, I just need to drag and drop and move the element. So in this case, if I press play, I'm going to first hear the audio and then I'm going to see the trigger.
Welcome to the engine maintenance training. Please follow the steps to complete the process.
And as you can see, the audio is finished and now I have my trigger, which once detects the player is going to disappear, and by the way, everything is being registered here. You can register at what specific time the user has completed one of the steps. So this is really good for training. You can display this information if you want, or you can not, or you can make it hide to the user, and then you can use it in order to evaluate how the user really complete the training. And you can even, we're working in a newer version of the template, which you can force some steps to be completed in a specific sequence. So that's good, and you can even make them make the user to make mistakes. So you could have like two different kind of experiences. One would be for training, which is the one that I'm creating here, which is going to tell the user at every moment what needs to be done. Or you can even create an evaluation system, like an exam, where you need to test the knowledge of the user, and you are going to allow it to do the steps in whatever order he thinks are correct, and then evaluate by default. Okay, let's go back to Unity and let's create some different steps. I'm going to change here. This is the start training. This is a welcome message. And then I'm going to create now my first removable part. So, and this is really good because this is where the assembly parts editor is going to start providing value to me. I can select my assembly group here, which is right up there in the hierarchy. Then now I can start creating assembly parts and assembly targets, which I'm going to explain right now. So since I've done anything here, I don't have any assembly parts and I don't have any assembly targets. So the first thing I want to do is to select this cover, and I want to make it grabbable. And I want the user to remove the cover and place it like right about here, okay? So the first thing I need to do is to ensure that this model contains a collider. So it's going to detect when the user inserts their hand in their model, and it's going to detect that, and it's going to make me available to grab that part. So I'm going to add a collider to it. So I can add like a component right here and add a box collider, but I can also use the Unity Pixel or the asset transformer and add it right from here. I can go here and create colliders. I'm going to use axis align bonding box, which are different ways in order to create the colliders if you want, and I'm going to make locally align. I'm going to run it. There you go. And as you can see, a box collider has been added to my 3D model, and as you can see, this is the trigger that now is going to detect the hand of the user and is going to allow me to grab this. How, and this is the key part, how I make something grabbable. So if you are a developer and you haven't used any kind of this kind of VIROO Studio creation process, you know that you have to create your own scripts or use another ones, add it to the piece, then configure them, and you are going to see how easy it is to create with this template. So I'm going to hide this. And the only thing I need to do in order to create, let's try to hide it. Sorry about this. Let's see if I can hide it. I don't know. I'm going to move it like right about here. I don't know why it's not disappearing. Okay, let's put it right away. So what I need to do is just to select the part, and I'm going to create an assembly part. So I just created, and by default, one of the new things is that it's going to take the name and the type based on the name of the game object. So if we compare that to the previous version, where we have here the assembly parts editor, First, you have to include your identification, your type, and do it by hand. And as you can see, the window itself is not really that clear because you don't have colors. So it was like a little bit hard to differentiate what were assembly parts and what were assembly targets. And even harder to identify what targets we're referring to a specific assembly part. So let's see how that has been improved here. So as you can see, you have like blue to detect or to the assembly part section, and then this kind of pink or purple in order to detect the assembly targets. And then if I create an assembly target, first I'm going to select the part, and this is like the starting position. So if I want to change the starting position, I can select the start and I can move it around here. So if I do this, I'm just going to show you what exactly it's doing. It's going to place that part in that specific place. So again, I haven't coded anything, and now it's detecting that the user is entering the trigger, and then I can move my piece around and I can place it if I want, whatever is correct. Since I don't have a target, I now cannot place it anywhere, but now it's working. And again, this piece is going to be connected to the network, and every user is going to see how I'm grabbing the piece and moving it around the environment. So let's make a target for it. I'm going to select the part again. I'm going to select the start and I'm going to place it as it was. Let me do that. Okay, because I want the part to be starting here in the starting position, and then I'm going to select the part, and to create the target is as easy as to click on this. Now I have created the target. I'm going to change its name because this is the thing that is going to be appearing in the sequence manager. So in order to be easily identifiable, I'm going to put remove cover. I can even, and this is really great, I can even change the tolerance distance and the angle. What this means is that I can try to ensure that the user knows exactly where needs to put that part and at what angle. So the user cannot like move around the hand in order to see if it fits everywhere. I can ensure that it really knows where it goes and in what rotation and orientation. So I can move that. In this case, I'm going to leave it right here, but this is really, really good if you are testing the knowledge of your user. So now that I have the target, I can go here to my assembly sequence manager and I can add this step. As you can see, remove cover. This is going to be my third step. As easy as that, I can press play again. I'm going to maximize that for you. And as you can see, the trigger is going to start working. I'm going to enter it.
Welcome to the engine maintenance training. Please follow the steps to complete the process.
The audio is done, and as you can see, it's highlighting me. And by the way, these colors are totally configurable, so you can change them if you want, but as you can see, it's highlighting me what element needs to be grabbed, and once I grab it, I could place it. I forgot to change the target position. Let's do that right away so you can see how easy it is, because it's telling me that I need to pick up the place and put it right away. In this case, I'm going to select the target and I'm going to move it. It needs to be right about here. So now, a couple of seconds ago, I can enter the trigger again.
Welcome to the engine maintenance training. Please follow the steps to complete the process.
And now it's working because it's telling me which part I need to take and where I need to place it. Again, this information, you can provide it to the user if you want, if you are just training it in order to learn these kind of procedures, or if you are just evaluating him, this of course can be hide and you can test the knowledge of the user. So let's just grab the part. I'm going to place it right about here. And then I have my 3 steps completed. The first one is the player trigger, which is detecting the position of the user, then the audio, and then the cover. If I want to give like information of what exactly needs to be done in order to make it easier for the user, I can use another audio. So in this case, I'm going to duplicate the welcome message and I'm going to put remove cover message. And I'm going to just change the MP3. I'm going to search for cover and I'm going to select the remove cover audio that I created before. So again, and it's as easy as going through the sequence manager, adding another step, and then select the remove cover message. since I don't want this to be at the bottom, I can just drag and drop it and put it right after the welcome message. So or even I can place before the message, then the trigger, and then remove cover, which probably could take a little bit sense. So let's see how this exactly works in Unity. Again, it's so easy to change the order of the sequence. This is much better than years before.
Please follow the steps to
Let's wait for
complete
the audio.
process.
As you can see, I've seen it here. Now it's a trigger, and now I'm going to receive the other audio.
Remove the cover to access the rocker arms.
Now I have the ability to grab my cover and then place it right about here. Again, in a couple of minutes, I'm creating a multi-user XR application that is going to allow me to train my staff in whatever precision I may want. If I want to create a more part, I'm going to create a new one. This should be like a process in which you have to remove the cover and then replace a rocker, but I'm going to just change the way because this is how easy it is to create. So I'm going to just select another piece here. I want this piece to be removable as well. So in this case, I'm going to create a new part. And then I'm going to select the start position and I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to change the start position of this and I'm going to make that the user needs to grab that piece and put it in place. So I'm going to select the part again and create a target. In this case, I'm going to call it place, how is this called? I don't know exactly the name. I'm going to place tube, as easy as that. So now that I have this step, and I'm going to show you another great thing about this new version of the templates, I can select the place tube step, and then I'm going to make it to be the last one. Okay, and then this is another great thing. As I told you before, with the first version of the assembly sequence template was like a really hard to identify what targets were referring to a specific parts. I imagine that you have created like 30 different parts with 50 targets because one part can have like different targets, and I'm going to show you right away. Now it's as easy as you can see here. I'm going to maximize this one. Let's do that. I have here now two parts that can be grabbed and placed in another place, and I have two targets, right? If I select one part, it's going to filter that for me, and it's going to show me just the targets that are referring to that part. And if I select the other, as you can see, it's selecting another one. If I don't select any part, I'm going to show all the different targets at the same time. So let's try it out one more time. Let's see if you have any questions about it. Everything seems good. Remember, this is going to be live on YouTube this week.
Follow the steps to complete the process.
And remember that you will be able to download this template for free in a matter of days if you visit the VIROO website. If you go to Create for VIROO here and select the Explore Free Templates. We have now the VIROO Lab template, but we are going to upload as soon as we can this assembly sequence VIROO Studio template, okay? And you can download here and try it out to see how easy it is. As you can see, I have received the audio and is being displayed here. I have the trigger. I enter the trigger.
Remove the cover to access the rocker arms.
Now I have here this, I can take my cover, I can place it. Of course, this is much better in VR, but now that I have completed the step, I'm going to maximize this for you. Now that I have completed the step in which I remove the cover, now I can grab the tube and it's letting the user where exactly needs to be placed. This is really, really cool. Again, for a user like me, which I really like to create content, but I don't know how to code. I'm not a programmer myself. Creating these kind of interactions and not having to worry about the this is something that is happened. I'm not be able to create to grab this because I didn't include a collider, which I told you at the beginning that is the first thing that you need to ensure. So in this case, I have a mesh render. I'm going to create a collider. I'm going to run it. And now that I have a collider here, it should be able to make it. So again, for me, that I really like XR. I really like to create this kind of content and feel value to my company creating this kind of trainings. in a matter of minutes, and to be able to save costs to my organization, and that can be applied to design, prototyping, training, manufacturing, all across the value chains of your company. And I'm independent. I don't have to worry about removing time from all the other colleagues. I just create this kind of amazing content using VIROO Studio for me. So now I should be able to not only remove the cover, but also place the tube. As you can see how easy it is to create. I'm not using VIROO Studio at any moment, and now I can place it. Again, it really surprised me how easy it is to create this new version of the template. And now I'm going to finish like using the video that I show you, or that I talked to you about before. So once I place the tube, I want to display a video which assumably will show how the engine works, but this is going to be a sample video. So it's as easy as going to my assembly sequence here, my asset. I'm going to collapse this, my assembly group. I'm going to select in my prefabs, the ones that we included, I'm going to select a video completion. There you go. And now I have, with my canvas already prepared, always facing the user, I have an element that will allow me to display a video to the user at what specific moment I want. So let's just change, or to see what kind of video it has here. Okay, video completion. Let's select the video feedback. Okay, that everything is working well. And this is the video that I'm going to select. Okay, I have another one here, but I'm going to select this one. And since this is already configured to be a completable step, I just need to go again to my sequence manager and add it to the sequence. This is my video completion. And I can change this if I want the name to be like training ending, or whatever I want, but I'm going to leave it right about here. So let's see how it works. I think it's going to fail because Unity has a bug, like whenever I save the project, the first time I show a video, it's not going to be displayed, but if I press stop and push it again, it's going to work. So in this case,
remove the cover to access the
we're going to do it right away. Let's see what time is it. We are approaching the ending of the webinar. So if you have any questions of what you are seeing right now, now is the time. I can place the tube, and I'm going to place it right about here. This is the bug that I told you before. Just by pressing stop and pressing play again, you are going to see that it's going to work. And by the way, when you export the application and you are launching it in the computer or in the headset, this is not going to this is going to work just fine. This is like a bug from the Unity editor.
Remove the cover to access the rocker
I'm going to maximize this for you again. I'm going to take my cover, place it right about here, place the tube, and watch my video. So as you can see, I hope that you share the same amount of excitement that I have with this assembly sequence template, all the improvements that we made to be able to identify correctly the parts, not having to worry about rename it. You can rename it, of course, if you want to find them correctly in the sequence manager, how you don't have to code anything, how we have included prefabs like audio, video that are really useful in this kind of procedure. And one of the good things is that you can even duplicate this kind of sequence. So if you have all this entire assembly group template, you can just duplicate it and move it around. Let's just try to find the gizmo, because I have so many elements here. Where it is? Oh, I think because it's right about here, the pivot point. So I could duplicate this sequence and have like multiple people training at the same time and launching different events just for them, but the rest of the people could be seeing as well. So if I want to train, again, like a team of people, I can do that without having to rework on all the process again. And the good thing is that if I want just to start from scratch, with the first version of the template, whenever you create a grabbable part that is going to be able to be grabbable and placeable, we by default automatically include different components inside your game object. Okay, if I select like a target, you see like different game objects has been included here. The start position, the remove cover with this kind of variables and unique IDs, completable as sequence component. So if I first with the previous template, if I wanted to start from scratch, I would have to go to the hierarchy and delete all of them by themselves, and probably I would forget about deleting one of them. The good thing is that for now, if I want to start from scratch, I can just select all the elements in my sequence manager, which again, if I want to change the order of my sequence, it's as easy as that, to change the order of the steps. This is so cool. But if I want to start from scratch, I can just delete all of them, and I can go then to my assembly group and just pressing the X, I remove the parts. As you can see, the hierarchy is changing because it's removing this kind of components, and then I'm going to erase the target. As easy as that. Again, in a matter of minutes, I have created an assembly sequence training procedure that is going to be deployable in XR, in large-scale immersive rooms, in 2D mode. If you just own a laptop with your keyboard and mouse, it's going to be multi-user, and I don't have to worry about the networking. I don't have to worry about coding anything at all. If I know how to do that, I can include that and even improve my content. And then when it's ready, I can just open, I opened the previous version, sorry. I'm going to open VIROO Studio 3.0, which is the current version. This one right here. I'm going to show you just an example of how really it looks once you have completed all the process, where you just need to go to Window, VIROO, you go here in Dashboard, and then you can just, with your account, you can upload your application and publish your application, which is going to then upload it to your cloud. So once that is ready, I can go here, join with my account. It's going to check whatever content is already available inside my organization, which is Virtualware. And I have here the demos, the design review, design thinking, all the apps that we have. And let's see, I don't know if we have like a previous version, VIROO template. Probably just launch the demos, or the anatomy of human body, which I think is one of the really cool, because we always show like, this is going to be downloaded right now. We always show like industrial sectors, but again, if you change the model and instead of being an engine, this could be like the human body, you could create different assembly sequence procedures, and it will be useful as well. Imagine that you want to test the students if they know where they need to pick whatever one it is and place it in a correct position. I made like a webinar. The last webinar was really about that, about having a skeleton and placing different bones inside the skeleton, so you can test the knowledge of the player. Or you can just create different elements that they have to identify the bones, so they can display videos or whatever you may want. This is the really benefit of VIROO Studio, that you can create this account content. Oh, I see that we have a comment from Charlotte. It looks great, thank you. Really looking forward to trying this out. Thanks, Charlotte. And again, I am really impressed you to go to our VIROO website and just download it for free. It's as easy as that. If you are not sure if this is going to really provide value to your company, which probably is going, because if you are not using XR at this moment, we're in 2025, with all the things that XR can provide to your company, reducing costs and reducing risk, you probably should be. And VIROO is by far one of the best solutions out there in order to start really fast to integrate these XR applications inside your organization, but that is really robust and reliable, and really ready to scale if you need to spread across all the globe, all your organizations, all the buildings that you have in different countries. So now that the content is ready, I can select my headset, or I can select keyboard and mouse. I'm going to select keyboard and mouse, and then it's going to launch the application that again has been created entirely using older versions, in fact, of VIROO Studio. And you can see like, or you can have like a better understanding of what kind of all the contents you can create. Let's mute my mic here, which again, you have like included voice chat here. Then I'm going to select English.
Hello and welcome to VIROO Anatomy Atlas. You can use the menu on the stand to visualize the different layers of the human body.
And the fact that a user without having any coding knowledge can create this kind of interactive environments that anyone from my organization could now join this session with me, and I will see his avatar and I can have like a better understanding of how it works and removing all the layers. These are like really basic interactions to make with VIROO Studio, but really complex if you want to make them multi-user and multi-device compatible. And as you can see, I think I can grab this with my mouse. I can grab the heart and I can make it bigger. I can display information about the heart. This is really cool. Again, thanks everyone for joining. I hope that you really have like a good understanding of what VIROO Studio can provide your organization, how easy it is to create this kind of amazing content, that you can download it for free and start creating right from the scratch. And whatever doubt you may have, feel free to reach us, ask any questions, and we will provide any support you may need. Thanks again for joining this session. It's going to be uploaded offline to YouTube probably this week, and we are going to include this assembly sequence template in our website as soon as we can. Thanks everyone, and we will see you in the next webinar. Bye bye.